Hi BookTube, I'm here today with a book haul. As I mentioned on Friday, I had plans to go to the local library book sale that's hosted this weekend. And I did go, but I didn't actually find anything. My boyfriend went with me and he actually found several of those Witcher series books. It looks like I don't know anything about it, but it looks like a fantasy series. There's a video game that he plays called Witcher or something. But so I don't know if the books are inspired by the video game or vice versa. But yeah, he got lucky with some of those. But for me, I was going and looking for books that are like out of print that I can't find at my library, or books that I've read that I want to own a copy of that I read on the Kindle. But I just didn't happen to find either of those types of books. But yeah, I'm happy to have gone. I do have several books to show you. I am doing a book haul, and these are books that I found at a thrift store last weekend. Because I haven't really checked out any thrift stores in the area since moving here, and yeah, so I found quite a few there. And so the first group are books for the Newbery Award winner list that I'm working my way slowly through. I'm reading the Newbery winners, and I'm reading the runner-ups as well, because sometimes there's more than one that they do each year. So for those, it's The Sign of the Beaver by Elizabeth George Spear, and she wrote The Witch of Blackbird Pond, which I read several years ago and really liked it, but I haven't read this one. I've never heard of it. It's about a boy who looks like he gets stranded, and he's by himself without his family, and there's a Native American comes that helps him out, is what I gather. And this came out in '83, so I'm in the 1920s right now. I think I'm at year 1925, because I'm reading them in order. I kind of wish I went the other way around, because I think I would find it more enjoyable, because at least the first couple of years that I've working my way through, they have not been good. I've had to DNF quite a few, but yeah, at least I'll have this when I get to it. And then I have Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry by Mildred D. Taylor, and this is another Newbery winner. And this is, I'm not sure exactly what this book is. I'm not going to read the description of all these books. They all will be here forever. But it says, it takes the events of one turbulent year, the year of the Night Riders, and the burnings, I'm not sure, the year a white girl humiliates Cassie in public simply because she is black, to show Cassie that having a place of their own is the Logan family's lifeblood. It says, with the land to hold them together, nothing can tear the Logans apart. And so this is like how, family is strong when they're together, and looks like they're all pretty young. So yeah, there's that one. And then I have Mrs. Frisby's and the Rats of Nymph by Robert C. O'Brien. It says Mrs. Frisby's a widowed mouse with 4 small children, and she must move her family. So yeah, there's that one. Then I have Cynthia Cato's Kyra. And this doesn't really have a description on the back. It just says, my uncle was exactly 1 inch taller than my father, but his stomach was soft. We knew this because we hit him in it once the year before, and he yelped in pain and threatened to spank us. We got sent to bed without supper because my parents said hitting someone was the worst thing you could do. Stealing was second, and lying was third. Before I was 12, I would have committed all 3 of those crimes. This kind of sounds like adolescence, teenage, turbulent years where you're defying your parental figures. I'm just going to, I'm guessing right there. We'll see. And this one, like these kind of books, like I've never seen like the movie or TV show or anything. I've never read the book purposely because I feel like I know the ending of this kind of story, and they're not for me, but I'm going to read it. This is Old Yeller by Fred Gibson, and this was an honor book for the Newbery. So I'm not sure, I don't know if you need a description of this one, but it says, at first Travis couldn't stand the sight of Old Yeller. The stray dog was ugly, a thieving rascal too, but he was clever and a smart dog. Could be a big help to the wild Texas frontier, especially with Papa away on a long cattle drive up to Abilene. And so, it's like a young boy and a dog, and it's just going to be their relationship and how they help each other, and yeah, so I have this one. And so those are the Newbery winners and runners-up. Let me know if you've read any of those. Maybe generate some interest for me. I don't know. And then I have some mystery books. This is The Red Carnelian by Phyllis A. Whitney. And I've already read this when I purchased it. And I was like telling all of you about how this horrible, awful, awful cover. And it's on the back too. It's repeated. I don't know why, but yeah, I got this because I saw several people on BookTube talking about Phyllis A. Whitney. And I used to read her back in middle school and elementary school. And I read everything I could get my hands on. And this is, I think it's in the first book that she wrote. And so, yeah, when I saw it, I had to pick it up despite the awful cover. And yeah, I enjoyed this okay. If I was going to rate it on Goodreads, I don't do that. But I would say like a 3-star read. It wasn't the best by her, but I'm happy to have read one of her first stories. And then I have A Rain Song by Phyllis A. Whitney. These are the 2 books that the thrift store had. And again, this cover is not the best. Like the shadowing on, or what do you, I don't, the drawing of his face, it looks kind of like mottled green color. Maybe it's like it's faded over time because of the yellow pages. It's like from the 70s or something. But yeah, I read this one years ago, and this is about a woman whose husband dies, and her husband was a famous popular singer, and so she was this songwriter, and so it's like how she deals with being a widow, and I don't know, she gets involved in a murder. But yeah, it's not fresh in my mind because I read this probably 15 years ago or so. But yeah, I'm happy to have picked this one up because I don't own any Phyllis A. Whitney now. I've moved several times, and I had a big box of all of her books in one box, and that box got misplaced, and I've never found it since. And so I lost my whole collection of her work. So yeah, this will maybe start my path of accumulating some of her books. And then I found Beowulf, translated by Seamus Henney. And this is, I've never read Beowulf, but I've been meaning to get this translation because I've heard this is like the one to get. And so, yeah, I'm happy to have found this. I looked, and there's a couple underlined pages in here, but not that many, so it'll be easy to ignore, hopefully. It's not that awful yellow highlighting, but there's just a couple of underline. So yeah, there's this one. And then I have Diana Gabaldon's Dragonfly in Amber, and I have the first book, Outlander, in this version. It's like floppy trade paperback. And I haven't read that one yet, but I saw this, and it was for $1, so let me get the second one, just in case I really like the first one. But yeah, I'm planning to read Outlander fairly soon, either in February or March, and so then I'll have this one to read after. And this is a historical fiction series. That's basically all I know. I think it's like time travel in here, maybe. I haven't seen the TV show or anything, but I'm sure a lot of you know more about this series than I do. But yeah, it sounded really good, and so I want to give it a try. And then I have Cadillac Jack by Larry McMurtry. And I've read several Larry McMurtry books, including his 2 big doorsteppers of books, like Lonesome Dove and, now I can't think of the name of the other one. Maybe it listed here. But, let's see. Moving On. That was the other really big one. So yeah, when I see Larry McMurtry books, I try to pick them up. This one is about a young boy named Cadillac Jack, who was a rodeo cowboy turned antique scout. He's like a nomadic, womanizing life is what it says. It's in the Texas flatlands, and he goes to Washington, D.C., and it's all about like his journey and people he meets, people he encounters. And so yeah, this is a good one. I don't know, I'm not saying it's a good one because I haven't checked the reviews or anything. But I was going to show you my cat. She I had this sitting on the floor because I wanted to not put him on my shelf yet because I want to do a book haul first. But she ran across it, and her claws have made this like scratch, but the scratch didn't go through the book, but it's like indented it, and so it's kind of scruffy. So I'm probably going to tape over this just so it's not like irritating my hands when I'm reading it. Then the last book I got was Grant by Jean Edward Smith. And this is a book, it's a really chunky book. This is a book I've been meaning to read forever. And I have gotten this book through my library multiple times, but I never picked it up. And so I was like, okay, I saw this. I was like, now there's no excuse. It's not going to like expire and go away. It's going to be right in front of me on my bookshelf. And so I will finally be able to get to it. And this is one of the Grant biographies that I really want to read, I haven't read a book solely focused on Grant, but I am interested in him. And so, yeah, this one, I've heard nothing but good things about this author in this book. And so, yeah, I'm happy to have found this one. So these are all the books I hauled in February. I probably won't go book shopping again anytime soon. But yeah, let me know if you've read any of these, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, BookTube.